Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens of all ages, welcome back once again. Will here, playing Star Citizen. What else is new? And today I thought I would do a little bit of a throwback to the very first ship. Well, basically the very first ship I have pledged for, and that is the Aurora LN. Now, I say technically because originally, when I started out in my naivete, I actually had the Aurora MR. Attempted to clear some comm relays and was basically absolutely pwned by the Ninetales counterpart. So, after a little bit of research, I found out that the Aurora LN, which stands for Legionnaire, is the fighting variant of the Aurora line, and given that I was just getting into Star Citizen, my thoughts were, I want a fighter. I don't have a lot of money, but I want something that I'll actually be able to enjoy the game with. So I coughed up like 10 or 15 more bucks and got the LN. Now, my LN probably looks a little bit different than what you're used to, and that's because I actually have, I believe, the Operation Pitchfork skin on it. Let me see. Wait, why do I have mismatched weapons? Bulldog and... Alright, let me change that. Bulldog, repeater. Beautiful. Alright. So I got that, and the... Oh, I've got M4. Do I have another M4 over here? I do. Alright, well that's going to be messed up pips. Maybe I should put the M1, M3As. Do I have any? Sucker Punch, M3A... Oh yeah, I got a bunch. Alright, so M3A. So, make sure... There we go. M3A, M3A, M4A, M4A. Okay, alright, now we're in business. I like to try to have as close pips as possible just to make the, error less. So yeah, I've got the Operation Pitchfork skin because I actually really digged the look. It's got kind of that more militaristic green as opposed to the, I guess, what I call it, the grasshopper green. Let me see if I can get a better view of the paint. Try to, yeah, so if you see, it's kind of more like an olive drab, kind of more darker green as opposed to being that really bright green with the yellow, yes, yellow trim. Odd, I know, it's an odd choice. So once I upgraded from the MR to the LN, I actually loved this ship for a time until I started seeing how so many more people were having such a better time with all these way cooler ships. Like when I first saw the Super Hornet and someone let me borrow it, I was like, holy shit, I can never go back to my Aurora.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check. Take off.
So now that I'm in the ship, I can kind of give you a better view of the paint scheme on it, and I really like this one. I've heard that they're going to be updating this skin, and it's got a bunch of different colors, and I really didn't like it. I actually really like the colors of this one, and I really hope that they stick with it. I hope they keep this exact color, or if they do update it, I hope I have the choice to keep this one or go with the updated one, because in my opinion, for this being the quote fighter slash military variant, I like these colors a lot more. So what I'm going to do is try to do a couple of ICC missions. When I first got this ship, like I said, I was a complete noob. I mean, I probably had the MR for a couple of weeks, and it really made playing difficult. It really did. And as much as people say that it's pay to win, it's not pay to win, but at the same time, you gotta have the right tool. You know, like if you're a carpenter and all you have are stone-made tools, you're gonna have a hard time. Whereas if you're a carpenter and, you know, you've got tools from Black & Decker, you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna be able to get your job done. And oh my god, they sent a cutlass. See, this is the type of bullshit that I'm talking about. I came here in my Freelancer, got attacked by an Aurora. I came here in my Gemini, got attacked by an Aurora. I come here in my Aurora, and it's a goddamn cutlass. Like, that's kind of bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. So let's see how I fare, because I really have not played with my Aurora in such a long time. Oh! Direct hit. I'm gonna have to nail him. Yeah.
You had your chance to run, you didn't.
Right back at you, bud. Now, this is definitely like flying a brick compared to something as responsive as like my Comet, my Super Hornet. I mean, really, even the Mustang Delta, I feel kind of handles a little better. Oh, I just knocked a piece off of him. Let's see if I can... Oh, is his shield down? His shield might be down. Now is the time to take advantage. So with the Aurora, the LN at least, you get the 2 extra size 2 hard points, which is more like on the back upper portion, which is where I had the M4As. On the, I believe, almost every other Aurora, you only have the 2 size 1 fixed on the front lower portion. And this is taking, you know, quite a few hits to try to weaken. These Cutlass are super tanky. So I'm trying to do alternating fire to really lay down as much DPS as I can. Yes, and he has been disabled. Now let's try and see if we can knock off this part of the wing, or the engine, because sometimes they jet back to life, and he is not going to be coming back to life from that. So, again, it depends on the tool. You know, I mean, look, I've got an Aurora LN. The Ninetales Cutlass is, in my opinion, definitely one of the harder enemies to kill next to the Vanguards. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. If you have ever gone up against the Pirate Vanguard, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know about the Pirate Vanguards, oh boy. Jump into Pirate Swarm and get to, I think it's like wave 8? 8 to 10 is, I believe, when the Vanguards first start to come out. Those things are fucking tanks. I mean, my god, those have definitely been buffed, because I have a Vanguard Hoplite on loan for having a Redeemer. Yeah, so my Redeemer has gotten me, has netted me a Hoplite Vanguard as a loaner, and I'm not super duper happy with it. Now don't get me wrong, I like the Vanguard series. I like the look. I like how it looks aggressive. So now that's an issue. I don't like that about the Aurora. I was looking at this door to open, so let's try. There we go. But the Vanguards, you know, they are pretty ships. The Warden, I like how it's got like that black kind of finish to it. Hoplite is like the green one. The Hoplite is supposed to be the dropship variant, but there's been some controversies about the Hoplite, where the Hoplite does not accept the battlefield upgrade kits, or the BUKs, or Bucks, or Bukes, or however everyone pronounces them in their own way. However, the Hoplite actually has the battlefield upgrade kit doors. If you don't know what I'm talking about, those doors are actually on the bottom of the Vanguard. And what I'm going to do now, you know what? I'm going to go back to Olisar and I'm going to show you. I'm going to keep the LN and just kind of show you, the differences and what different tools can do for you. And my mask just came off. Oh my god, it's chaos. I'm choking.
System check.
Just kidding. Okay, that was terrible. I'm going to try to stop doing those terribly cheesy things. Keyword is try. So let's fly off to Ollie. Now, for a starter ship, I mean, the Aurora is not terrible. Aurora LN, that is. I believe it's got 4 size 2 missiles at its disposal. I'm going to have to verify that. Again, haven't played the Aurora in quite a long time. In fact, I want to say after I started widening my fleet, I basically completely ignored the Aurora. I just kind of bought the Operation Pitchfork skin within the last few months, and by that I mean a few months ago, in the hopes that it would kind of reinvigorate my liking for the Aurora. And actually, now that I've jumped back into it, it's not bad. It's not, I admittedly, because I've got some of the more top tier ships, I've been shitting on. Okay, the ship didn't want to let me go, it seems like. I've been shitting on the lower end ones completely unnecessarily, and to that I want to say I'm sorry. The LN is a decent little ship. So this is the extra size 2 point hard point that I was talking about that you get with the LN, and to my understanding, I think only the LN. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I believe, to my understanding, all Aurora variants only have the front size 1 hard points, except for the LN, which has the second 1 to 2 hard points up on this little wing section there, where the VTOLs, I believe, are back here. I think this is one of the VTOLs there. If you don't know what VTOL stands for, it's vertical takeoff and landing. Supposed to help when you are in atmosphere with gravity, so that way you can make those, obviously, vertical takeoffs and landings. Pretty straightforward stuff. Hope I didn't just insult your intelligence with that, but a lot of people don't know what these acronyms are, and use them quite frequently. So if I come up with or use an acronym, I will try to explain it. That way you have a little bit better understanding. So the Vanguard Hoplite in particular, it's a mixed bag in my opinion. There are aspects I like, there are aspects I don't like, and there are aspects that I think really need to be addressed. So first and foremost, since we're coming right out to the front of it, let's start with what I feel needs to be addressed. And that's these 4 nose weapons. Now, these are bearing, it says MVSA laser cannons. I don't even know what the fuck that means. They're size 2, but there's a problem. They're the only type of weapon that fit in these hard points. Now, with these being size 2, you'd think you'd be able to attach, at least other size 2 weapons. Maybe not all of them. I can understand not all of them. I mean, I can see the sucker punch not fitting there. But imagine if you could replace these with Badgers, even just Bulldogs. That would be awesome. Because these shoot just like the M4As. These are, in essence, 4 modified M4As. And as you can tell, these are not gimbaled. These are forward-facing only. But in contrast, you then have this size 5 mount on the nose, and it comes by default with this size 4 gimbaled Apocalypse Arms Revenant Ballistic Gatling weapon. Problem being, this doesn't really hit as hard as you would think. In fact, I kind of prefer the Mantis over this one. It feels like it fires slowly, and to me, it feels like it should be hitting a lot harder. I mean, a size 4 Gatling, these should be tearing shit up. I mean, look at that. 6 barrel. It has some spin up time, which I don't understand why. Real Gatlings just, you know, when you start to fire, they go. And I mean, they're, you know, that's more like it. You know, they just go and just annihilate. I don't like that it has a spin up. But if it has a spin up, I mean, this thing should tear through targets. This should not be, you know, it feels, to me, it kind of feels one step up from like a BB gun. It does not fire very strongly, in my opinion. I've also put a couple of rattlers on here, as I really like the rattlers. Those things can really pummel an enemy, especially if you get them while their shields are down. That could be a kill in and of itself. Now, these are the doors that I was talking about. If you ever see another Vanguard, I believe really the only other Vanguards that are working are the Wardens. So if you go up to the Warden, you will see this door. This is where the battlefield upgrade kit is supposed to, air quotes, pop in. So you have a Warden, and you get a Sentinel Buck, BUK, Battlefield Upgrade Kit. You attach it here, theoretically, and it now becomes the Sentinel. Same with the Harbinger, same with the... I thought there was another one. There's the... Oh, I think that's it, actually. At least for the ones with the Battlefield Upgrade Kits. Warden, Sentinel, Harbinger, and then there's the Hoplite all by its lonesome. So if we pop open... Oh, another thing is this is a completely different ramp. On the Warden, to my understanding, it actually opens way slower... Oh, I'm sorry, way faster than the one which is for troop deployment. Now, how much sense does that make? None is the correct answer. The turret entrance is right here. Currently, I have 2 size 2 sawbucks attached, and that is a disappointment as well. The sawbucks are very disappointing in terms of fire, but that is a video for another day. There's also these useless, what I think are lockers. Now, why are the lockers, okay, up here in the pilot cabin, which is closed off? You know, why isn't that airtight door here? So that way, you know, what if this door gets blown off and not all of the troops have their helmets on or their suits sealed? Guess what? They're now boiling and freezing to death at the same time. If you don't know, if you are exposed to the vacuum of space, the spit in your mouth boils. It is some horrible stuff. I suggest if you're not aware of the effects on the human body or an organic body in space, if you want to not sleep tonight, look that up. I do kind of like, though, the way it looks here with this, you know, kind of... It looks like a troop transport in the back here. But what I think they are severely missing is some sort of door right here. I mean, look, it would fit perfectly right here. You got the frame. You could pop it in. If they took this door section and moved it right here, so now this whole thing could be one pressurized cabin, and then you would open up the pressurized to go through. If you could have the ramp open up a bit faster, I think that would exponentially make this look better. And then you'd have the lockers. You know, maybe move the lockers to like right here. You know, maybe knock out these stairs and have a ramp instead, or you know, because you'd be able to put the lockers there, and then they're easily accessible. They don't have to get up, go through there. You know, because what if this is depressurized, but in here is pressurized, and you open up to get to your locker, and now you've just killed your pilot. Okay, that was unexpected. So yeah, those are a couple of the gripes that I have with the Hoplite. And just for good measure, I'm going to show you how this thing performs. This is a 2-for-1 today.
Aegis combat assist activated.
I like that, though. I like that it's Aegis. So, do a quick outside view look. You know, I really like the look of the Vanguard series, and that's kind of the shame. I mean, this thing is solid. It looks kind of aggressive. You know, it looks like that mix of heavy and light, you know, fighter transport. When you're flying this thing, Excuse me. When you're flying this thing, I mean, this is a stable base. And I can't translate that to words. You just kind of have to fly one of these to know what I'm talking about in terms of like stability. But when this thing is flying, it feels strong. It feels like it's really stable. And I like that. You know, the only thing is, if you get one of these rear tail sections shot off, you're going to have a bad time, because these rear tail sections are your engines. There's been a couple of times where I don't know if it's a glitch or maybe they've just incurred damage and it's more in-depth than I had previously known. But one of these got knocked off and I was just permanently strafing. So you see that reticle that's moving to the port side of my ship, to the left for all you landlubbers? That was basically just stuck all the way over on the screen, like it is right here. And no matter what I did, even when I tried pressing starboard, it would just immediately go right back like that. And no matter what I did, I was basically debilitated. And I'm pretty sure I still had the tail sections. They weren't gone. They were damaged, but they weren't gone. And then there was a more obvious time where that one of those rear wing sections was blown off, and you know, that makes a little bit more sense. I can understand if I'm missing a whole engine that, you know, I would be off kilter. And look, an Aurora. Alright, well, I guess at least I don't have to worry about getting killed. But, so look at that are the front-facing weapons. So now the Revenant, it sounds beefy. But look, I'm holding. Now look at that. For a size 4, I feel like that should be doing more damage. Am I wrong? Okay, those missed, so don't take that volley into account. But again, size 4. And the Aurora is just taking it. It looked like it was being more injured by the 4 size 2 lasers. I mean, granted, yeah, there's 4, but again, this is supposed to be ballistic, going right. If I could hit it, there we go. All right, there we go. Now it seems to be doing some damage, and there's the kill. So now, if I kick in the afterburners. You just kind of have to fly one to know what I mean about its like stability, but it's a stable platform, and I do enjoy that. But its weaponry and I think some of its IFCS really do need to be revisited. You know, I'm not saying that it's a terrible ship. I am not trying to say that or allude to that in any way, shape, or form. I like the Vanguard series. I just think there are some instances that need to be addressed. There's just, you know, nothing is perfect, and, you know, I think for what they have and what they have done, they did great. You know, again, I am not discrediting the Vanguard series. Oh, if I can get my left and right and up and down correct. But I definitely think it has some opportunities to improve. And you know, luckily it's not something as massive of a rework need as, say, something like the Cutlass, which the Cutlass, I think was overpromised. It was definitely touted to be able to handle more and do more than it could. So the Cutlass rework is a much needed, much appreciated rework. Definitely something I am super stoked to see. And with the materials that I've seen, I am anxious as all hell to get my hands on 3.0. I bought a Cutlass Actually, I want to say the Cutlass, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure the Cutlass was the next ship that I bought after I got the Aurora LN. And for a while, I was really stoked with it. I was really happy. I loved that I had that area in the back to put all sorts of neat knickknacks and gewgaws. If you know what that reference is from, plus 25 to you. But I really liked it, and I liked that it had the sorry about that. I had a slight technical issue with my recording software. Basically what I was saying was I really liked that Drake was, for all intents and purposes, like the pirate dealer. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave this video now. I've got the software stable again, and I want to try to make this as complete as possible. So sincerest apologies if there was a break in the viewing and it was a little, you know, messed up. So apologies. But yeah, so that's been my overview of the Aurora LN and my thoughts on the Vanguard Hoplite. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? I want to hear about it. Put it down in the comments. Leave a like, leave a comment, and most of all, you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. This has been Will. Peace.